Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to this week's What's Up Wednesday, where we are going live with you on Facebook and LinkedIn every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about our upcoming 19th Annual International Human Trafficking and Social Justice Conference that's going to be hosted virtually this year on September 21st through the 23rd. So I know we're joining you a little bit later than normal today. We are rolling with the punches today. Got some storms moving into the Toledo, Ohio area, and some people have lost their power at home. I'm not going to name names, but we're just, rolling with the punches. So, hey, everyone. So glad that you're here. My name is Anna Schramm. I am the conference planner of this amazing conference. I work at the University of Toledo's Human Trafficking and Social Justice Institute. And we have back with us today Celia Williamson, who is the director of the Institute at UT, and she is also the founder of our international conference. So, hey, Celia, how's it going? What's up, Wednesday? How's it going, Celia? How are you doing today?
I'm just bringing back the 90s. So, what's up?
Yes,
We were alive then,
yes.
but yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks for joining us. With today, we're going to be talking about our programming related sessions at the conference. So as you've heard me mention, we are a very diverse conference. We have a lot of different types of sessions. We've already talked about some of those, but today we're going to be focusing on our programming sessions that related to anti-trafficking work and social justice programming. So Celia, can you just start us off talking about the importance of programming in the anti-trafficking field and what makes a good program anyway?
Yeah, like when we talk about human trafficking, we tend to think of just getting the victim out of that situation. But then once we get the victim out of that situation, what do we do to help them become a survivor and help them become a thriver? And that's all about programming. So you might have heard, the rescue and restore, the rescue part. Okay, whatever happens there. But then what about the restoration? And so good quality programming is so important. And it's not just a case of, I have a good heart and I would like to help. And those are the only skills I need. Those are certainly important to have a good heart and want to do this work. But having the skills, the knowledge, to be able to be effective in helping people. When we go to the doctor, for instance, we want a good-hearted person, but we want an actual skilled and knowledgeable, talented doctor. We don't want to say our elbow hurts and the doctor's looking at our knee and he's doing something. We often say as helpers, like, well, at least we're doing something. But when you go to the doctor, you don't want the doctor to do something. You want the doctor to do the skilled, talented, knowledgeable, best thing. And that our clients, our survivors deserve the best. So programming is everything.
Yeah. It's so important, like you said. And you are actually presenting at your very own conference this year. You've presented about different programming in the past, but this year you are talking about your survivor's journey, which you have talked a little bit on your podcast. So your session is a little bit direct service, a little bit conceptual, a little bit programming. But do you want to give our listeners kind of just like a sneak peek into what you're going to be talking about in your survivor's journey session?
Yeah, it's really based on my 30 years of being in this space. And we do a lot of, I'll say, exterior work to help survivors, when they need housing or food or clothing, get to the physician, get to the substance abuse treatment and all the things. But we don't do much in terms of the internal brokenness, the internal trauma that people have experienced. And sometimes they find their way to a trauma treatment therapist, most times not. They don't understand that a therapist is not a therapist, a therapist, a therapist. A trauma trained therapist is critically important for people that have suffered trauma. And so, but you only see that person maybe once a week if you ever get to that person. The survivor's journey is 12 journeys that a survivor goes through to become a thriver, and all the things that were taken from them need to be replaced. The boundaries, values, healthy relationships, trust, all the things, forgiveness, all the things that were taken are replaced. And so Survivor's Journey is 12 journeys. They'll be delivered in a group format, sort of similar to AA, where they have 12 steps. We have 12 journeys, and it's trauma focused. So I want you to hear that too, because I know a lot of us are becoming trauma informed. And what trauma, there's a big difference between the two. Trauma informed means that you have protocols and practices, and the way you engage, the way you interact with somebody. You do this so that you don't re-traumatize them. You do this because you recognize that they have trauma. But the bottom line is you haven't done anything to help heal their trauma yet. When you're trauma informed, you're just doing things not to harm them, not to trigger them, not to re-traumatize them. But best believe you haven't done anything except not hurt them. That is not a good standard of care, right? Trauma informed care should be laid over some type of model that you're using that actually heals somebody. So the Survivor's Journey is trauma focused, and it's focused on healing the trauma, not just not hurting somebody, but actually working to heal the trauma. So I'll be presenting that.
Yeah, that's going to be an amazing session. I know you could probably talk about that all day, but we're not going to let you, because we want people to come and listen, come attend the conference, listen to your full session,
Right.
Listen to all of the 12 journeys that you have, and learn more about what you've created, because it's very, very important work. So I do want to highlight a couple of the other programming related sessions that you can attend at the conference. I'm just going to list a small sampling, but remember that there are over 110 sessions that you can choose from at this conference. It's our largest conference to date. So this is, I'm just going to name a couple, but remember that all of the sessions at the conference are going to be recorded and available for on-demand viewing for up to 3 weeks after the conference. So if you've registered for the conference, you'll be able to watch sessions later. So, with 110 sessions, it's going to be hard to choose which ones that you want, but you can go back and you can watch those sessions later. So you can learn more about our sessions and to register for the conference on our website, which is traffickingconference.com/register. So getting into some of the sessions that I want to highlight. So first, that are programming related. So first we have Rosie Best and Meg Craner. They're going to be presenting on their I Want You to See Me project, which is going to talk about the healing power of telling your story, which I think is amazing. Then we have Natalia Tomanchkina, and she's going to be talking about social enterprise and creating economic opportunities for survivors of sex trafficking. That's going to be another great session. Renelle Bruder, she's going to be talking about Beyond Inclusion, and her presentation about building a strength-based model for survivor leadership and empowerment.
Awesome.
Then we have Toni Thompson, and she's going to be presenting on the Community Living Integration Club for women in residential recovery of sex trafficking. And Toni Thompson, that presentation is also one of the ones in our occupational therapy track, which is new this year. We have a bunch of OT specific presentations. So that one is about programming, her program that she created, but it's also an occupational therapy program. So come listen to that. Then finally, we have Linda Dixon and Laura Lederer. They're going to be presenting on developing a student guide to preventing human trafficking, which is going to be a really great session. So there's going to be many other ones besides the ones that I just mentioned. So if you go onto our website, register for the conference, check it out, check out all of the other sessions that we have available. So Celia, any thoughts on some of the programming sessions that I just mentioned? I mean, they're all going to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, they all sound exciting. I would love to learn about each and every one of them. Some of the people are very famous in this area, particularly Laura Lederer has done some amazing work with the government, Congress, and some national research. So I'm excited about that. And just come to the programming ones if that's what you're into, and become more skilled. You can never know enough. You can never stop learning on how you can hone your craft and be even better and more effective in the work that you do. So I'm excited to attend some of those.
Yeah. And what I always like about the programming type of sessions is they usually talk about some of the lessons that they've learned, things that went really well, things that didn't maybe go so well when developing their programming. And I think that's really key in, you being able to take that information back to your own community and develop your own programs, learn from other people who have done it before you. Don't try to reinvent the wheel on your own. Kind of take what these experts are telling you, and so you can implement this stuff, and also implementing it with best practices instead of just, like you said, doing something. We want to do the best thing, and that's where you can learn a lot about that in these programming sessions. So another thing that I do want to mention, because I know a lot of professionals who develop programming, work in programming, they usually have professional licensures, and they need continuing education credits as well. So our conference does offer CEUs. You can earn up to 12 CEUs at the 3 days of our conference. And we have 10 different disciplines, which again, I know a lot of people in programming kind of fall into these disciplines. So I'm going to name them off all on my fingers because I can remember them that way. So we've got social work, counseling, marriage and family therapy, chemical dependency, Department of Developmental Disabilities, occupational therapy, health education, public health, nursing, and law. So those are all of our 10. You may have gotten lost in the first couple ones that I mentioned, but if you want to find out more about the continuing education credits that we offer, see which ones you can apply for, go to our website. That's just traffickingconference.com, and you can find out more information there. So Celia, anything else that you want to add before we wrap up today about programming or about the conference?
No, I would just say that they could go to the website today and just start checking out some of the potential presenters that they might like to see and some of the topics, and then look at some of the past conferences, even other presenters, and just get a feel, for what we do. We're just really interested in you becoming more skilled, more knowledgeable, because if we provide you that, you'll go out and you'll do an excellent job with clients and with survivors, and it'll just be great all the way around. So I think coming to the conference is a great investment. Remind people how much it is, because it's very cheap when you think about 100 plus presentations over 3 days. So what is the cost again?
Yeah, and you and me were actually talking about this yesterday and thinking about it. So yeah, it's $225 to attend for the 3 days of the conference. And we try our best to keep it as reasonable as possible. But then when you think about all the 110 presentations that you can watch, since you are able to watch them for 3 weeks after the conference, you could potentially binge watch all 110 presentations. So for $225 for 110 presentations, I think that comes down to $2 a session. So I mean, it's a pretty good deal when, like you said, we've got some of the top people in the field who are going to be teaching you about programming, along with other topics that we're going to cover, like research, healthcare, survivor experiences, legal issues. So I mean, it's a pretty good deal. So crazy to think about it like that. But yeah, check out the website, see what this conference has to offer. We also have all of our past conferences on there. No recordings, but you can look at who the presenters are. You can look at kind of like the, not bio, but like presentation description. Presentation description, their objectives, and kind of learn about that. And maybe you'll see something and want to reach out to somebody from some of our past conferences. So thanks for joining me today, Celia. Thanks for hanging in there while we deal with losing power and trying to make sure that we come to you live.
That's
Remember
right.
that we can't disappoint our people. So we are going to be live again on Facebook and LinkedIn at 2 p.m. every Wednesday leading up to the conference. We're going to be talking about some of the other type of topic sessions that you can attend. We're going to be bringing on some special guests to talk about their session and their experience at the conference. Next week, we are going to be focusing on our art-related sessions. And we're going to have a special guest, Dr. Heather Evans, with us. And I'm really excited to have her on and talk a little bit more about that. But in the meantime, again, check out our website if you have any other questions. And everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.